One of my favorite draft picks from this year was Emmanuel McNeil Warren. If you followed my mock drafts, this was a player that I thought the Browns might have to take as early as 24 in this draft. So imagine my thrill for the Browns to be able to get him with a modest trade up and a second round pick. I'm super excited about Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I think the Browns have been kind of searching for somebody at the safety position who can be a playmaker. And I think this completes the trifecta of young playmakers in the Browns defense that they've been looking for, right? They've had a playmaker on the defensive line in Mason Graham as a young player, Carson Schlesinger, a undeniable playmaker at that second level at linebacker. And now I think Emmanuel McNeil Warren can start to be that third man at that third level of the defense. So why is it that I think that? We're going to break down the tape. But before I get into that, got to thank my sponsor, PrizePicks. Hey, let me talk to you about my sponsor for this year, PrizePicks. It's a fun way to win cash while you're watching your favorite teams. Forget complex betting rules. Their app is designed to be incredibly easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Speaking of, here are my picks for this upcoming NFL season. They have Myles Garrett at 14 sacks here. I think he will get more than 14 sacks. Joe Burrow at 3,875 passing yards. I think he'll be a 4,000-yard passer. I'm going to go with more. They have Derrick Henry at 1,224 yards. I'm going to go less than that. Check to see if PrizePicks is available in your state. You can follow me on the app at KWEN_C to see all of my lineups. Download the PrizePicks app today. Play $5 and get $50 in lineups when you download the app using the link in the description. All right, so let's jump into the cave. Let's get into the film breakdown, and let's talk about Emmanuel McNeil Warren, one of my favorite players in this draft. One of the things I love about Emmanuel McNeil Warren, and you guys have watched me long enough to know, I'm a big fan of football players who, are good at being violent on the football field. So let's look at Emmanuel McNeil Warren, run fit here versus the University of Kentucky. If you're looking for Emmanuel McNeil Warren, he is right here. And watch him come from the far corner of your screen right down here. Boom! Stops a touchdown right there, right? So let's break this one down here, right? So we're watching this run play. And if you can see this develop, right, he's about to get to the second level. And then he's about to climb. They're about to open up a hole here. That's what ends up happening. He gets this guy to the ground. He can't climb. This tackle climbs here, which means there is an open gap here that leads straight to a touchdown, which is here. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, when this gap opens, is back here. He covers all this ground and gets to this gap and puts this running back on his ass. Look at that. Bam! Love that. Love that. That kind of mentality, you get some weight on him and you get his muscles to match his mentality, you're going to have a thumper at that safety position. And he can play free safety. Don't get it twisted. He can play some free safety. I don't think he's a strong safety in the NFL. I think he can play free safety. He's a thumper, though. He ain't afraid to get in there. And that's what makes him a bit of a playmaker as well. All right, let's get to this next play here. Is this another run play? Let's let it run out. All right, so we're going to start at the top. This is another run fit for Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He's right here on your screen. I'm going to watch this play develop. He does a good job of locating the runner, right? He locates the runner. He sees the cut. Once he sees the cut, he cuts up so he can fill this backside gap here. And then he fills and then tackles. Good job there. Again, making plays at the line of scrimmage when your safety is the premium, right? When we talk about we want a playmaking safety, that's the stuff that we kind of hold at a premium. Can you make plays on the line of scrimmage. Well, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about here, right? Playmaking right here. He's off the ball, but he somehow makes a play behind the line of scrimmage, and he's not overly aggressive, right? He's not one of them safeties that's a heat-seeking missile, right? You shoot him, and he just goes, boom, here, no matter what the play does. And then he gets beat for 20 yards because he made the wrong decision. He's a smart player. I think that's why the coaches love him so much. He's not overactive. He's not overly trigger happy. He's a smart player, and this is an example of it, right? He's just reading the running back, and once he reads that running back, he reacts, and then boom, he cuts it off. Look at that angle he takes there to cut it off too. He goes right at the feet. So a player who's willing to be physical, but a guy who's also very smart. Continue. Talk about smart technique, understanding the situation, open field tackle here against this tight end. And watch number 7. Watch number 7 on this one. Make a play. If you did not catch it, let me show you what happened. Number 7 gets to this play, and he peanut punches the ball out of the tight end, forces a fumble. It's a big play for Toledo right there. So, again, playmaking safety. We are seeing early on clips of him. I adjusted the table. I adjusted the table to get a better angle of me while I was in that 2-man box. I forgot it was super high up. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. But nonetheless, right, we're seeing Emmanuel McNeil-Warren make plays on the line of scrimmage. And then we're seeing him in coverage also make plays. Again, what the Browns are hoping with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and what I think is very possible with him, is that he is a playmaker for this team, right? And this is what this Browns team has been missing at the safety position for quite some time, is somebody who can play make there. And I think that's something that we're seeing in Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's tape here. Let's continue. Oh, man, let's continue. Hold on, wait. We're going to run back that peanut punch one more time. Let's zoom in so y'all can get a better angle of that peanut punch right here. Yep. So you can see it. He's the one who comes in over top at the ball. Good technique being coached out there in Toledo because they both go for it, but peanut punch, boom. You see that forceful, too. You see how he gets everything in there? I forget whose breakdown had me talking about punches. I think it was Spencer Fano's. But look at that punch. Look how good that punch is, too. Right? Number 6, he throws whatever punch he can. He's kind of in a hard situation to push the ball out. But McNeil-Warren, he comes in there and look, he follows through with that joint. No wonder that ball came out. All right, let's get back to the regularly scheduled breakdown of tape here. There it is. All right. So, again, if we're looking for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, right there. So, this is an example of him making another play in coverage. The ball was thrown so badly that it ends up not being something that could have been completed. But McNeil-Warren, right, getting in a nice physical position right there. Look at that. Look, he has good technique. I'm so excited to see what a strength and conditioning program does for him because he's a little bit skinny, right? But he gets a real strength and conditioning program and he has technique like this, it ain't going to be hard to make him powerful. It ain't going to be hard at all. That's one summer right there. One good summer, you can get that powerful right there. Look, right? Because you see how he has a good technique. Low base, he gets his hands here. He puts his hands on a weak spot for this tight end. Boom! Now, that might just look like, okay, well, what use does that have? What that has is that it slows that tight end down, right? And it takes that tight end off his route. And you notice this goes from a play where it looked kind of dicey for 3 to all of a sudden, now he's ahead, right? You see right there, 3's kind of trailing behind there. Boom. Doesn't get called for anything, so I'm assuming it's legal. Boom. And all of a sudden, that's a good job. All right, where's McNeil Warren here? Believe. Yes. So he is here. And again, this is just good coverage here, right? This is him having to do post safety work. Now, what's a post safety? Somebody who has to work against post a lot. I had Tyvis on. He talked about this. But somebody who has to do a lot of post work, right? And we were watching him. They're going to run a post over him. So he has to kind of sit back. And then if they try to throw over top, he's got to take that away. So right here, he's getting into his back pedal. He opens his hips up. He runs. And then most importantly, right, look at the instincts here to locate the football. I don't know if y'all can see it, but if I zoom in here, you can see he locates the receiver. And then the next thing he does is look up for the ball. Boom. Finds the football. Now he's tracking the football. And he makes a play on the ball, right? The receiver don't matter if he ain't got the ball. So good stuff from Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Again, a very smart player. This draft has a lot of really smart safeties, obviously headed by Caleb Downs. But if you're somebody who wanted Caleb Downs because you were like, Caleb Downs is so smart, he's going to be somebody who's ready to play quickly, I think you should be pretty happy with Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Obviously, he's not Caleb Downs smart, but Caleb Downs is an athlete or anything like that. But what he does bring to the table is similar as far as like intelligence, the overall package goes. It's just not at the same level that Caleb Downs has. But even though, I give McNeil Warren some credit here, I think his physicality kind of sets him apart. But let's continue here with McNeil Warren. It's a lot of clips, too, against a Power 5 opponent. We all know that the SEC, much better conference than the MAC. All right, let me run that one back. Yeah, him doing a good job in space here, one-on-one with their quarterback. And this is what you love to see, right? A free safety making plays at the line of scrimmage. Right here. Gets out there. He's the only man who could save this. And he makes a good tackle. That's a TFL right there. I was watching him against Western Kentucky. This is some coverage stuff from him. Boom. And he finishes the return off. He gets the 6 there. So let's watch what happens here. First, what's Western Kentucky running at him? Whatever they were running, it was not successful. What are they running on the other side? All right. So I have to imagine these are comebacks. Yeah. So Western on this side running a comeback here and a comeback here, right? That's what it looks like because, yeah, they're running the comeback. They're trying to attack the cushions here. Now, they know that he's going to bail, right? So what they're trying to do is trying to hit this comeback, and they know that he's going to bail, so they're going to bank on that. They're going to throw this one at the top. So you can see that's what the game plan is. And look, that works. That works most of the time. You see the corner here. The corner here, he's going into bail deep. And they did a good job shutting that down. but this is where they wanted to go with the ball anyways. So that's going to work. Their only problem is that Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is here. And watch him cover this ground in a relatively short amount of time. Boom. Right there. Right? It's a lot of distance that he covered in that short period. So this play was going to be all good, but McNeil-Warren does a good job of just lurking here, right? Letting Western Kentucky think this is safe because he knows that he's going to come underneath that and he's going to pluck this one, take it 6 the other way. Bam. So it's great technique. Again, this is a smart football player. He's a really smart safety. You know, this is why I say like he's in that same category of safety as far as smarts go. You know, obviously not smarter than Caleb Downs, but on those, he's closer to his level than people think, you know. All right. This is a great red zone snap for McNeil-Warren. Again, he's here, and he's going to make a play on the goal line here, right? So watch McNeil-Warren just slide in there, and he gets underneath the guard to get contact on that running back. He's one of the first guys there on contact, your free safety. He's one of the first guys there, and look at him fight this running back. He is the guy who brings that down. Like, that's a great play. Look at that. First guy there, fights through a guard. I don't care if it's a group of 5 guard. That is still somebody who has way more weight on him, gets underneath him, and then look at the fight here. These are the kind of guys you want on your football team, right? Great stuff. Great stuff here. All right, another play from Emmanuel McNeil-Warren on that same goal line set. Now, I think they picked up this flag. This is on 4th down. So they picked up this flag. They didn't, or it wasn't on the defense. But watch McNeil-Warren again. Just be very smart here, right? They got him basically in the box here. And then he's just paying attention to what's happening. He's looking at that quarterback because he knows that's where the ball is, right? He's tracking the ball. He sees the ball go across the middle of the field. What does he do? He makes a big play on that ball to pop it out. Great job. It's a 4th and 2 that shuts Western Kentucky out the end zone. It's a big play right here. Here's another thing here, right, where we talk about the potential, because a lot of this is about how smart McNeil-Warren is, but there's some legitimate athletic potential here. Look at that jump cut, man. That's not normal. Like, he's capable of these things, right? Let's get a closer look at that PBU, too. Yeah, right here. I didn't do a good job of getting a look at it. It's great technique there. And then let's look at that jump cut he does here. Like, look at that. How many guys you know can do that? He's not even really being that serious. So there's a quickness there for him that's going to make him really interesting. He has the violence necessary to be good, and he's a smart football player. Maybe you need to add a couple pounds on him as his career goes on, but he can play. He's smart. He's going to be very smart for you. Really like this player the more I see of him. Super shocked that the Browns were able to get him outside the 1st round. Super happy with this selection. That's Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, though. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.